Tim Burchett has just announced the lineup of the U.A.P. hearing in the House of Representatives. So let's talk about that and some other stuff that he's been talking about. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, please share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, we're all excited about the U.A.P. hearing coming up next week. And, we've all been trying to, figure out who are going to be the UFO whistleblowers, the witnesses that are going to testify in an open hearing in the House. And I was really looking forward to this lineup. I was expecting to see some scientists. We were told there were going to be some scientists that had, hopefully scientists that had been studying UFO technology and even reverse engineering this stuff, or possibly, engaged in UFO crash retrievals. I was really looking forward to this lineup because I wanted some new information and I wanted the public to be exposed to this information. So what did we get? Well, here's Tim Burchett telling us what to expect.
Next Wednesday, July 26th at 10 a.m., the House Oversight Committee will hold a hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. I prefer to call them UFOs. It will be held by the Oversight Committee on National Security, the Border, and Foreign Affairs. The witnesses will be as follows. David Grush, he's a decorated former combat officer who served in Afghanistan, and he recently told the world news about his experiences serving on a UAP task force led by the U.S. Navy from 2019 to 2022. Commander David Fravor, he's a former Navy commander who shot the famous Tic Tac video that you've seen. It's on YouTube. It's 60 Minutes, did a special on it. He did that in 2004 during a routine training flight over the Pacific Ocean. Ryan Graves, he's a former Navy pilot. He reported multiple UAP encounters during training flights. And the interesting thing about Ryan was that he warned the Pentagon that these encounters are putting our pilots at risk. He attended the hearing held by the House Intelligence Committee last year, but was not allowed to speak. If you all remember, he wasn't even allowed admittance. He had to have someone gave him press credentials to get in, which I thought really stunk. Last year, the House Intelligence Committee held a hearing on UAPs. They brought in some Pentagon bureaucrats who only had two answers to the questions they were asked. I don't know, or that's classified. This hearing is going to be different. We're going to have witnesses who can speak frankly to the public about their experiences. We've had a heck of a lot of pushback about this hearing. We've had members of Congress who fought us. We've had members of the intelligence community and also the Pentagon. Even NASA backed out on us. There are a lot of people who don't want this to come to light. I've even tried to introduce an amendment to the Federal Aviation Administration Reauthorization Bill, and all that would do would require the Federal Aviation Administration to report UAP sightings by commercial pilots to Congress. I was told the intelligence community shut it down. This is ridiculous, folks. They do exist or they don't exist. They keep telling us they don't exist, but they block every opportunity for us to get a hold of the information to prove that they do exist. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, dadgummit, whatever the truth may be.
So there you go. We have Fravor, we have Graves, and we have David Grush. Now, of course, David Grush is going to be the star of the show, and I'm very excited to hear what he has to say and for him to say it under oath in a public setting in Congress. I think that's huge. That's kind of a game changer, really, and I am very excited about that, and I think that's wonderful. I'm less excited about Commander Fravor and Ryan Graves. I mean, not that they're not wonderful witnesses, and especially Commander Fravor with his incredible interaction with the UFO. But they have nothing to do with the UFO crash retrievals or reverse engineering, which is what David Grush is testifying about and what started this whole hearing. And we've already heard from those guys extensively, perhaps not under oath in a congressional setting and in an open hearing. So I think that's fabulous, but I can't help but feel disappointed. I was really, really hoping we were going to get some direct testimony from people directly involved in those programs. So yeah, I am kind of bummed out by that. Is this because of Pentagon interference? Very possibly, because Tim Burchett talked about Pentagon interference, preventing at least one witness from coming forward. He also talks about his disappointment with NASA and other issues with the intelligence community. And he's been talking about that not just in this press conference, but in other recent interviews as well. Here he is with Matt Laszlo, reporter Matt Laszlo, talking about the same sort of thing.
Congress needs to assume its authority.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll be watching you flex.
Do what?
I'll be watching you flex.
Yeah, well, also the Pentagon has flexed their muscle. We've lost a witness because of that, and NASA has backed out.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
and they blocked my amendment. It basically says if there are any, then they ought to come forth with information. And they say there's not any, but they're blocking my amendment.
Really?
So, yeah.
And here Tim's talking about the same sort of thing as well, with a little additional information in a interview before the press conference.
You know, it's a cat and mouse game, and you've got a really compartmentalized government that has passed some of this information on to business. And here we are trying to have these hearings. And NASA, we've called NASA in, and guess what? This week they backed out. We had a witness tell us they couldn't come because they were getting pressure from the Pentagon. Now, either they exist or they don't exist. I put an amendment in on the FAA reauthorization that said that if a commercial pilot comes across something that they can't identify in the air, they are is supposed to report, and the footage is supposed to be reported to Congress. The Intelligence Committee blocked that bill. And we were told the intelligence community, and I'm not, it's the industrial war complex, these war pimps that we have up here in Washington, they want to control everything and anything that has to do with the dollar. And so we're just going to keep pushing.
Let me ask you this. From the videos that you have seen, from the stories you have heard from people up in the sky, if that footage, if what people were telling you, if those videos come to light publicly for the American people to see, what do you think people's reaction would be to it?
I hope they're angry that the American, or that this government, and it's both parties, and I hope they're angry that they hid this from them. Because you got to imagine, if there's an energy source that these things are traveling and the speeds that they are achieving, and they're not showing a heat source. So you got to imagine, if there's some sort of energy source that they could do this out in if society had a hold of. Imagine we wouldn't be having all these wars in the Middle East, because guess what? We wouldn't need the oil. We wouldn't need all this, these government programs. We wouldn't need all these people, these jobs that they're creating. We wouldn't be destroying the environment to dig up stuff. We could power the world. It's Tesla's dream, and so I would hope that, at some point we get to that point where we trust the American public, because it's about trust, it's about corruption, it's about greed, and all those things are really what runs this government.
Yeah.
So it looks like there is substantial interference by various entities trying to prevent the public from learning the truth about the UFO crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs. Of course, right? I would expect nothing less from the cover-up, from the control group, whoever is interfering with the hearing and with the witnesses. But I really am frustrated by this, and I can tell that Tim is too. So what's to be done about it? Well, I will quote Luna, Representative Luna, when she speaks later in the press conference, and I will link to the full press conference and you can listen to it at your leisure. She says, we can conduct field hearings, and if we continue to get stonewalled, if we smell that they're giving us a bunch of BS, we are going to do the field hearing just directly at those locations, and we're going to open it up to the press. So it looks like Tim and Representative Luna are not going to be satisfied with the current state of things and with the interference that they're getting, that they are going to get more aggressive with these field hearings if they continue to get stonewalled, as Luna says. So I guess that's kind of encouraging. They are continuing the fight, even in the face of the cover-up, which apparently is substantial. And we have parties, even NASA, we have the intelligence communities, we have the Pentagon, all involved in this cover-up and preventing disclosure from going forward, which, you know, of course, right? I mean, they've been covering the stuff up forever. Why would they disclose now? I don't know, but the cover-up continues. But Tim Burchett is on the case. Yeah, some people are trying to make Charcoal Tim, stick. And I love Charcoal Tim. That's great. But come on, his name is Burchett, right? And the quote is Charcoal Briquettes. So I think it should be Burchett or Burchett Briquette. I don't know. Which one of those do you like better? But yeah, I think that Tim Burchett is a pretty good nickname. I like it. But Charcoal Tim is good too. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts about all this. Are you disappointed by the lineup of whistleblowers or, witnesses, I guess I should say, because we're not really getting any whistleblowers other than David Grush, and he was really an investigator. I was really hoping to get the direct whistleblowers from the actual programs, but we're not getting that. So let me know your thoughts on the witnesses that are going to speak at the hearing next Wednesday. And let me know what you think about all the interference that Tim and the others have been receiving with the hearing. And if you've enjoyed this video or gotten something out of it, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in these videos in a bigger way, you could hit the PayPal button. There's a link below. You can become a channel member. Channel members are awesome, and I love you guys. And you can also just buy one of my books. I'm a science fiction fantasy writer, and if you enjoy those type of books, there's a link in the description. There's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.